Let's start. So, everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the 28th meeting of Quantum Leap Advanced Toastmasters Club. There are some ground rules to follow. First of all, we are recording this meeting. So if you wish not to be recorded, please alert us in advance so that we can pause the recording. Secondly, we try to turn on our cameras so that our participants and speakers have a sense of participation, and we keep ourselves mute unless we are asked to speak. Thirdly, usually we avoid crosstalk while someone is speaking. When there's time for feedback, of course, we use the Zoom chat box. And fourthly, we volunteer not to talk about sex, religion, and politics, especially about controversial topics and topics that may lead to marginalization or offense to any ethnic or gender or racial group. So with that, I hand over the charge to our Honorable President, DTM Saif Ali Sheikh.
Thank you very much, DTM Talab bin Hamid and fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, as per your area where you are. And again, we have another wonderful session today, inshallah, ahead of us. And we have lined up, our VP Education lined up for you is a keynote speech, and international speaker is joining and giving the speech over here. And our own keynote speaker from our club, Toastmaster Salman Ibrahim. We have the Geek of the Week, and she might join a little late. Before I'm going to hand over to the Toastmaster of the day, may I request our VP Education to explain the rules and regulations for our upcoming international speech contest that is going to happen in our next meeting. Over to Mr. VP Education.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. So the international speech contest rules are...
You are mute or you are disconnected?
Sir, am I audible now?
Now you are audible. Can you please explain?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mr. President. So our international speech contest will take place exactly 2 weeks from now, which will be the next 29th meeting of Quantum Leap Advanced Toastmasters Club. The rules of the international speech contest are, in short, that one has to prepare a speech of 5 to 7 minutes. It needs to be original. It needs to be properly referenced where it quotes something from someone else. And in order to participate, you need to have completed 2 levels, the first 2 levels of pathways. And Toastmaster Lydia knows all about that because so that is the eligibility. And plus, of course, you have to be a paid member in good standing. As far as participation eligibility is concerned, there's also one more rule, or rather, couple of more rules. You cannot be unfortunately, if you're a district leader, you cannot participate. And district leaders in this case include the district trio, the managers, the division directors, and the area directors. Nominated positions such as assistant area director, club growth, and program quality, they are not included in this exclusion. And also, you can compete, as DTMs have said, you can compete from 100 clubs if you wish, but when you qualify, you can only proceed from one area in the entire world. So that means that whichever district you're in, if you're competing from 2 different districts, you can compete at the club level. But when you decide to move forward, you need to decide which district and which area you will move forward in. So, yes, Toastmaster Imran, you wish to add something?
I would like you to also add about the video speech contest rule as well.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the timely reminder. So since we are a provisional district, that means that our district winner will not proceed to the region quarterfinals and so on to the World Championship of Public Speaking. Instead, what Toastmasters has done is that for all provisional district, they run a separate contest. And that contest entails submission of winning videos of all the clubs that fall in provisional districts. And those videos are then evaluated, and top 3 winners will be announced by Toastmasters International. In many ways, this is as tough or even tougher than World Championship, because in World Championship, the speakers get to practice their speeches hundreds of times. Here, in a club, in video speech contest, you just have one chance. When you win the contest, your video will be submitted. There will be no refining the speech, no editing the speech after that. And Toastmasters and their judges will decide which top 3 speeches. And those results are announced, by the way, right alongside the results of the World Championship of Public Speaking. And it is our honor and privilege to report that over the past 4 years, 3 times District 122's contestants have placed in the top 3 for video speech contest. So those are the stakes, people. Make us proud, participate in the International Speech Contest. This will be the first ever contest of Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club. So you're all strongly urged that if you fulfill the eligibility requirements, and if you're not a district leader, which will be difficult because most Quantum Leap members are district leaders, but we will find some who are not. So, and even if you do not fulfill the, one more announcement, sir, if someone is interested to participate and yet they haven't completed the first 2 levels of pathways, we will help them to complete the first 2 levels and arrange for them to speak at other clubs to complete to reach that eligibility. So with that, over to you, Mr. President. Sir, you're muted, sir.
This comes from the old man, so he totally forgotten when to mute and when not to mute. So thank you very much, Mr. VP Education, well explained. And let me just one thing, this video contest is not only for the provisional district or territorial council, all undistrict club around the globe, they can participate at the video speech contest. So let's have a guest introduction. Tracy, please. Toastmaster Tracy. You're with us. Toastmaster Lydia. Unmute yourself.
Hello, I am Lydia Norman. I am living in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA.
Thank you. And Toastmaster Vishan.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be a part of this. It's my second time joining this group, and I look forward to today's speeches.
You are welcome. Toastmaster Mary. She's not here. And Toastmaster Sampa.
Hello, everyone. I am located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is my first time here. I'm just here to listen to all the wonderful speeches. Thank you.
You are welcome to Quantum Leap Toastmaster Club. Fellow Toastmaster, is any business?
So just the winners from last meeting, I think a recap of last meeting and the minutes of last meeting. So last meeting was held exactly 2 weeks ago, and it featured a keynote by DTM Sudarshan, and also prepared speech projects by 2 of our speakers. And here are the prepared speeches were by myself and DTM Raghu. Our Geek of the Week was Toastmaster Umar Shahid, and our role players were the TMOD was Toastmaster Khurram, and general evaluation was done by DTM Ajay. So the winners from the last meeting were best speaker went to myself, best lead evaluator went to DTM Sudarshan, best big three went to DTM Iram Rizvi, best round robin evaluator, once again, DTM Iram Rizvi, and best table topics, DTM Ahmed Abdullah. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, our Vice President Education and Acting Secretary. Thank you very much. Fellow Toastmaster, is any business? If none, let's move to our education session. In our education session, we have one keynote speech, one speaker, and a table topic session. And to lead our education session today, there is a person, he is an old man, and always come up in the morning. And please put your hand together, welcoming Toastmaster Saif Ali Sheikh. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President, fellow Toastmaster. What's come in your mind with the word invest in yourself? Think about it. To me, invest means to multiply. Invest means to get the dividend. Why we are investing? We want to enhance. Sometimes we are investing on ourselves to get better opportunities, better scope, better position. Sometimes we invest to learn new skill, better equipped with the current era. So it's all. If we are going to invest in yourself, there are three types of investment. To me, maybe more. You can elaborate. In my mind, there is one thing is the money. The second is the time. The third one is intellectual property. Sometimes you overlap money, time, and intellectual property. But the end result, what we are looking forward after the investment, we want to multiply what we are investing. The living example, why we are in a Toastmaster. In Toastmaster, we are investing a very little amount of money, but very little amount of time. But we invest intellectual property. Why intellectual property? To enhance our knowledge, the skill. And by time to time, I'm going to say few lines about the investment and invest in yourself. Let me ask our language evaluator if Umar Shahid is here. Is Umar is not here? So the word of the day is a pseudo. So I request all of you to use the word as many times as you can. And let's have a timer. Toastmaster Imran Rana is a timer and he done a PhD. He invested time to do the timing all over in District 122. It's regardless, he is a timer at the club level, area level, division level, or a district level. May I request Toastmaster Imran Rana to please explain the timing rules.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Today, I'm sure I'm on. Okay, so fellow Toastmasters and guests, as a timer, my role is to make sure that the meeting proceedings are on time. There will be different timing for different segments. For minimum speaking, my virtual background turns to green. And when it turns into red, that means that speaker will be left with 30 seconds. In between, I'll show the yellow color. So this means that now the speaker is moving towards the ending, and when it comes to red, the speaker will be left with 30 seconds. Okay, for table topics, if we have a table topics from 1 to 2 minutes, at 1 minute green, 1.5 yellow, 2 minutes red. For prepared speeches from 5 to 7, 5 green, 6 yellow, so red at 7. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Imran Rana. And let's move to our next segment. That is a keynote speech. That is, yes, Toastmaster Talha.
Sir, apologies. Yeah, I must have been called, or language evaluator. Actually, Toastmaster Umar Shahid, Umar was supposed to be, but since he's not joined yet, currently I'm taking over as language evaluator, and would just introduce the word of the day devised by Toastmaster Umar Shahid, which is pseudo. So pseudo, P-S-E-U-D-O, is is a prefix, and it is sarcastically used before any word, before any noun. For example, pseudo intellectual means that we are calling someone as a fake intellectual. So in keeping with the pseudo gold rush of cryptocurrency, that is the word of the day, and you're all urged to use it. And secondly, as language evaluator, I will be overseeing the language use, highlighting the good language usage, which is a huge majority of the role at Quantum Leap, and perhaps sketching out a couple of grammatical errors and pointing out correction. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Sir, please unmute yourself.
See, again, I told you, it's okay. It's a time to learn what is a fake gold crush. Fake gold rush is a cryptocurrency. And who can tell us he is a professional profession? He is belonging to account profession, and he is the best suitable to enlighten us about cryptocurrency. And please unmute yourself, Toastmaster Salman Ibrahim, and this control of Zoom meeting is to you.
Thank you very much, dear Toastmaster Saif, and a very warm welcome from a cold, rainy day here in Riyadh. I'm very happy to be here talking about an area which I have been studying and trying to understand better for a very long time. If you allow me to please share my screen, because I would like to focus more on the message of the presentation that is about to begin.
You can share the screen now, Salman.
Okay, so here we go. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I wanted to keep the presentation or my keynote speech to be a bit on the light side for the first of the many projects, hopefully, to come in this very valuable investing in myself arrangement that I have, or the decision I have made to be part of the esteemed Toastmaster Club. And this Quantum Leap Advanced Toastmaster Club is providing me with an opportunity to talk about an area which is very close to me, which is investments. Cryptocurrencies was the topic of my keynote speech. of the fake gold rush, but I think a better word for the title of this speech would be pseudocurrencies, the pseudo gold rush, as it is going to be the case as we discuss. What is common between the song Gold Rush by Taylor Swift and the cryptocurrencies? Taylor Swift says that her mind turns your life into folklore. Well, the cryptocurrencies do the same. They turn your life into a folklore that you managed to be part of an investment scam which you were unable to get out on the right time at the exit, doors closed, and things turned a bit nastier for some of us. I had an interesting discussion with a very dear friend of mine who happens to be an evangelist for the cryptocurrencies. And he has been into these all cryptocurrencies and blockchain related, Web3 related activities for a very long time. We wanted to sort of start a weekly podcast where I would be talking about the different technical or investment related aspects of the cryptocurrencies from valuation point of view, from the market cycle perspective, from technical analysis perspective, and allocation of your portfolio into the cryptocurrencies. I did not decide to go ahead with this because I personally was not convinced of the merits that were being propagated for the blockchain and the cryptocurrencies. So I excused myself. But he went on to continue being the evangelist that he is. He speaks on different platforms. He appears on TV channels talking about the merits of the cryptocurrencies. Although at that time, when I explained to him the rationale as to why I am not keen, were and are still the same. Before I go into the details of the cryptocurrency, it is very important that I talk about the backbone of the cryptocurrencies, without which the cryptocurrencies might not have been in existence, probably. For those of us who are living in the subcontinent, we are quite familiar with the concept of providing 5 photocopies of each of our documents to different government departments, to universities, to different educational institutions, and at the time of any transactions. So we get those photostates done, take those to a notary public or a government officer who verifies and attests those. So this is what our documents normally look like when the attestation process is complete. The whole purpose of this exercise is to validate the documents that are going to be part of the transaction's next step. So when we are entering into a transaction, we get the relevant documents verified, and then once verified, it is updated with the different departments in an organization so that they keep a backup copy for their own records. Now, we moved on from these photocopies or the hard copy submissions to databases. Technology provided the humanity with enough of the infrastructure to have these kind of records stored in computers, so we could basically have access to those at whenever we wanted. This is what it used to look like before. It went on to the technology related databases. The next step logically is defined as Web3, which is part of, or what you can say is blockchain. So let me explain to you how blockchain is similar to what we do at the moment and how it is being proposed that it is going to solve a number of the problems. So whenever a transaction is requested, they prepare, or the request comes from the party, it is then converted into a block, sent to different participants who are going to be part of this record keeping all over the world. And then they validate that transaction for different kind of parameters. And as part of that effort that they put into, they get cryptocurrency or whichever coin is part of that blockchain. Once this is validated, the transaction goes to the previous history of those transactions, just like the way our files get updated in the government offices. And then this is part of the overall record, which is distributed to the global record keepers. This is called decentralized record keeping or decentralized ledgers. There are a number of problems in this situation. If you look at this diagram, you will notice that the transaction basically takes place at a number of, the validation basically takes place at a number of locations worldwide, which means that computing resources are utilized, storage resources are utilized, computational power is utilized, energy consumption is increased, and that is only just at the beginning of the process. When you want to sort of retrieve a transaction related blockchain, there is another cycle of this whole energy consumption, storage consumption, computation power consumption, all of that takes place here. But without blockchain being available to act as something for the cryptocurrencies to be rewarded to those miners. If you don't reward them with anything, obviously it doesn't make sense to have those miners be part of this energy, time, and cost intensive exercise. Now, this is what we believe is going to act as a number of alternatives already available to blockchain, and much more cost-effective ones. The solution is not the blockchain technology only, but a better and optimized use of the existing technologies. We could use centralized databases, we could use cloud storage facilities, we could use distributed databases. Obviously, each and every alternative has some of the drawbacks, yet blockchain is at the probably lower end of the most optimal alternatives. Now, this blockchain is connected intuitively to the proof of work that yes, I have validated the transaction, I have added it to the blockchain. Now, where is the reward for that effort? So basically, cryptocurrencies are the reward or the payment to those miners without actually blockchain beneficiaries spending any money to pay those miners. So they get themselves absolved of any payment requirements for this very consuming exercise, and yet the miners are led to believe that they are earning something that is of value. What they don't know is those currencies or pseudo currencies are as good as just the numbers that we have written in a computer document. One thing that I have learned over the past 17 years of my investment career is that a number of times people buy something as an investment only because they feel that there is going to be a value that is going to be perceived at a higher level by the market in future. This is the main gist of the reason why a number of people invest in different asset classes, including real estate, including companies through the stocks or private equity, or you could say in fixed income instruments. But a number of those investments or asset classes or assets are backed by something that has some value, which is intrinsic in nature to those assets. A company has dividends, a fixed income has coupons, the claim is backed by the creditor, by the borrower. A real estate has obviously its merits of through rental income, but then again, if and whenever your investment is relying heavily on future perception by the market that they will pay a higher price for that asset, then we have a problem. Now let me go to the cryptocurrencies, and I'll take one example from the cryptocurrencies world. We have a cryptocurrency which is basically called Denta coin. Now Denta coin is part of the blockchain for the dental services around the world. The benefits that they have sort of advocated for the Denta coin are listed on the screen. Earning rewards and bonuses, paying for dental treatments, Denta coin assurance fees, dental supplies and equipments, buying various goods and services, trading against cryptocurrencies, exchanging to US dollar, euro, or holding for later use exchange. What we see here is exactly the benefits of any currency. However, when you look at the problem that they are trying to solve and the solution they are proposing is not really novel. It's basically the same thing, except with a bit of complex mumbo jumbo about the blockchain, about the decentralized ledger, or about distributed systems and all. And I'll explain how. The problems that they are trying to solve is exactly the kind of problems that people are faced with, and they solve that through currencies. But does this cryptocurrency solve the issue? Here is a 1-year chart for the Denta coin in the market. But I'm not interested here in the chart over here of the price. What I'm interested in is in the volume of the transaction. $2 only during the last 24 hours. Now, $150 billion worth of dental services market in the US annually is showing a transaction volume of $2 in Denta coin. So does this solve my problem? Or is there a widespread use of this? Why? It's not. Why? Because the dental services don't necessarily feel the need for these coins, or they don't see that as a solution to their problems. We are trying to fit a wrong peg into a hole which is already filled by a more relevant solution. One major benefit that they have said is that it provides anonymity, the cryptocurrencies. Well, who else needs anonymity? The thieves, money launderers, bandits. One other thing that it provides stability and continuity. Well, there are a number of failed crypto exchanges where 42% of the crypto exchanges disappeared without any reason. Is it free of any scams or frauds? No. The same kind of frauds, the same kind of scams there. They say that they can be used in chaos. Well, good luck with using your cryptocurrency in such a situation where people are actually going to be after the haves, and the war is going to be between the haves and the have-nots, and the cryptocurrency owners will be on the have side. What you need in that situation is a bunker like this. Now, when you look at the cryptocurrencies case, if anyone has, like people who have read The Animal Farm would know that it started with 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. But then it ended up as all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the others. And then I would end my presentation with the quote from the Animal Farm: the creatures outside look from pig to man, and from man to pig, and from pig to man again. But already it was impossible to say which was which. So if I have to use the same currency with the same kind of problems, then what's the whole point of spending more and more of my energy, resources, and everything to solve a problem which is just not there? Thank you very much, fellow Toastmasters.
DTM sir, you're muted, sir, once again.
Thank you very much, DTM Tala. It's a normal, it happened to me most of the time. And thank you very much, Toastmaster Salman. It's a wonderful presentation. And we learn a lot how to invest the money in cryptocurrency. And before we are moving further, let's have any questions, if any doubt someone has it. So Toastmaster Salman is here. He will answer and clear your doubt.
May I ask a question?
Please go ahead.
I just want to know the relationship of NFT with blockchain. Just a simple answer. I'm not a tech person.
Well, basically, the NFTs are going to provide you with the kind of accessibility or exclusive accessibility to different assets. It could be a picture, it could be another asset, and then that, when you add to the blockchain, is basically going. I mean, that token is added to the blockchain, and then it is all part of the ecosystem there.
So there is a question from Cynthia. Toastmaster Talha, is there any question?
DTM Cynthia has her hand raised. DTM Cynthia, you have a question?
Yes, I do. Well, I have kind of a comment. Thank you so much. That was a really good presentation, and it confirmed my intuition and doubts that I thought it was smoke and mirrors. And that's kind of the gist that I got from you, is that there isn't any there. There's nothing that it's really standing on for the blockchain. And the NFTs, kind of, because of they're sort of, everyone's excited about the future of it, but is it there? And it reminds me of the I'm dating myself now. I'm a child of the 70s, and I lived through the Cabbage Patch years where we had Cabbage Patch dolls that people were paying $1,000 per doll. So it reminds me of that. Did I get the gist of that right, or am I off kilter there?
Yeah, you are absolutely right here. Look, there is always a merit in evolving, and obviously we will move from whatever technology or whatever investments that we are they're familiar with in the past, or at the moment. I mean, whatever the paradigm is in terms of investments available to different people, or to different kind of let's say consumers of those investments. The key here is to go for things that are above and beyond just the idea that somebody would value that asset or consider that as a valuable thing in future as well. The same happened during dot-com bubble. Oh, people were talking about, eyeballs on the websites are more valuable. Yes, fine, but eventually what people value more is how much money or profit is generated from those eyeballs. Can we convert those eyeballs into, let's say, profitability or dividends or cash flows? It's not the case here. The same happened with the social media platforms, active users, this, that, etc. Snapchat, I mean, they have never made any money. I mean, to be honest, we haven't seen the same thing in some of the other things. So, but then again, it's not to say that everything is kind of is completely wrong, but we need to be very selective. We need to see which one has merit and which one can be technically and objectively sort of, let's say, argued against. If we can do that, then for anything, NFT, unfortunately, is just like baseball cards. So yes, fine, you could say that you will be able to sell those at a very higher value potentially in future, but it's not a guarantee, or it's not even going. I mean, we can't even say if people would hold that dearly to themselves in future. If that happens, if you can be sure of that like outcome in let's say 5 years time, yes. Otherwise, even the stocks are not recommended to be held if you don't feel that it is the right stock to hold, even if the market is closed for 5 years. So the same goes with a number of those asset classes. But we have to evolve. We will evolve. Obviously, there will be some teething problems. There will be some casualties along the way, but we will get there. As humanity, we have always been sort of finding different solutions to the problems. So if any problems with the blockchain or the cryptocurrencies, those will be fine-tuned, will be resolved, and then more fit solutions will be then adopted by us eventually.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is any more question?
Yes, sir. Just a small question.
Please go
So,
ahead.
thank you so much, Toastmaster Salman. That was really enlightening. Just needed to ask that the whole system of blockchain and the technology behind cryptocurrency, is it safe to say, and you also cited the .com bubble, right? Is it safe to say that the system is only as good as the people operating it? Because the kind of people operating in cryptocurrency space, they are shady individuals locked up in their basements, stealing graphics cards and equipment from the market and creating farms to mine the currency. I mean, when you say that the currency decentralized and it has intrinsic value, how can you trust a bunch of crooks which are essentially running the network? So would that be safe to say that the technology is only as good as the people that are controlling it?
Well, I think it's important to know that the cryptocurrencies, obviously there are some good systems that have evolved to become too big to now fail, and I feel that those will continue to be in existence, and then obviously people would continue to invest in those, just like the way people invest in art or diamonds, or for that matter. But you can't really just take the credit away from diamonds or from art. Yes, there is a merit to holding those assets. So there will be similar kind of merit, and in fact, I see that as a more of an inspiration to more relevant or more credible people. I don't know. I mean, how people perceive the governments to be as credible, or the central banks to be as credible. But the fact is that these cryptocurrencies have inspired the governments to now go towards central bank digital currencies, which in my view is going to be a bit dangerous, which is in my view is going to be something that we should basically think about very carefully, because even if you are talking about the government operating a very reasonable solution, central bank digital currency, I mean, it can be abused big time, and we should take care of that before it's too late. I mean, that's just my opinion, and people might disagree with that. But the central bank digital currencies mean that the account that you hold, the money that you hold in your account, is entirely at the discretion of the people who hold, I mean, who issue that currency. So they can flip the switch on and off, and they can basically direct you towards a certain use of your own money which you earn. So there is merit to cryptocurrency. I wouldn't say that it is completely baseless, but still, and the system, government is a sort of a credible entity, and central bank is digital, like central banks are also credible entities. Yet, how you use the system is very important. I mean, the system could be in the hands of good people. Yes, fine, but then there is always, as they say, someone who is going to find a way into that space. So you won't find those people in the basements, but even you will find those people in the power corridors.
So thank you very much. It's time is over for the question answer, but I totally believe what happened to myself. I'm a coin collector and I'm keeping the treasure. Whenever I'm going, I'm getting the coins. So is a pseudo coin or the physical coin? I just put my hand in my pocket and believe in me, that coin, I got it from my pocket, and that is from 1964, 1 paisa coin of government of Pakistan. So what happened to people like me, though those always having us, the physical things having in their hand. Anyhow, we learn a lot and we know how to control ourselves with the cryptocurrency. And let's move to our education session again. And to lead that one, I request Toastmaster DTM Talha bin Hamid to modular evaluation paradigm.
Thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Sahib. I'll just go over it quickly. So we have introduced this modular evaluation paradigm. That's a world first for Quantum Leap. It is the innovation of our member DTM Sudarshan. And what it does is that instead of first, there will be a conventional evaluation that will be done by the lead evaluator, and then the lead evaluator will hand over the charge to 4 different modular evaluators, and they will be addressing 4 different areas. The first area would be the visual aspects of the speech, the body language, the posture, the movement. That will be, then there will be the auditory aspect, which will be done, which will cover the voice modulation, vocal variety, clarity. The third will be perceptive, which will be about the preparation and the speech's impact and relevance to the audience. And finally, there will be the structural part, which will cover basically the language and structure of the speech. So we have a panel of evaluators, which will be introduced by our lead evaluator. So over to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President Education and to Toastmaster DTM Tala. There is a hand raised by Toastmaster Imran. Yes, Toastmaster Imran.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Actually, I have to leave the meeting. So I have requested Salman Ibrahim to become the instructor. And you may ask someone to do the panel.
I hardly get anything because there is an echo.
Yes, actually, okay. Let me explain. Toastmaster Imran Rana needs to leave for another meeting, so he is handling the perceptible part. So he's requesting Toastmaster Salman Ibrahim to stand in for him to cover the perceptible part.
Is it okay, Toastmaster Salman, for you?
Unfortunately, I am not familiar with the perceptor role.
It is just, yeah. It is just the how you, it will be a 1-minute session on how the speech was prepared and what impact it had on the audience in terms of relevance and effectiveness. That's pretty much
okay.
it.
Sure, no problem. Okay.
Great.
Okay. Okay, let's move to our speakers. Toastmaster Lydia Norman is attempting effective coaching level 2 project, understanding your leadership style. And our lead evaluators for her is a Toastmaster Khurram Saeed Chishti. Could you please explain the purpose of his project? The purpose of her project.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster Lydia is attending the project, and the purpose of the project is for the member to identify her primary leadership style or styles And the purpose of this speech is for the member to share some of the aspect of her primary leadership style and discuss those leadership styles in journal. So over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I have my team along with me as our VP Education explained that. So my modular evaluators are for the visual. I have DTM Iram Rizvi. For auditory purpose, I have Toastmaster Mobina Rauf. For perceptible, we have Toastmaster Salman Ibrahim. And for the structural, Toastmaster Shahid is not there. So may I ask Toastmaster DTM Talha to take that part?
Okay, fine. I'll do that.
Okay. Evaluators are ready. Is the speaker ready?
Yes.
You. So a stage is for you.
Right. Thank you. So former US President Ronald Reagan once said that the greatest leader isn't necessarily the one who accomplishes the greatest things, but the one who actually gets the people to accomplish the greatest things. This quote to me, defines the purpose of a leader: to unite people together to accomplish a purpose. Well, how do they do this? By using their leadership skills to bring out the unique qualities of each individual, which contributes to the overall effectiveness of the team. In a 2016 study by the US Centers of Disease Control, or CDC, 1 in 4 US adults have a disability. Colleen Boyle, who at the time was a director at the CDC, stated, at some point in their lives, someone will either have a disability or that they will know someone with a disability. So, and learning about disabilities can help us to better understand and meet their health needs. Now, I would like to add to that, not only to know their health needs, but also to help know what their needs are in the workplace. So how can we as leaders support our employees with disabilities? Well, in my 2018 research paper, Identifying and Addressing Employment Barriers for People with Cognitive Disabilities, I found that many people actually do not look for jobs because they're afraid of getting into an environment where they're not supported or find discrimination. Now, even those who do find jobs, they're reluctant to actually identify themselves as a person with a disability. And that's even despite there being legislation such as the Americans with Disabilities Act and subsequent amendments. This means that as leaders, we could either have a disability, like myself, who's on the autism spectrum, or we would have employees who have a disability, whether it is diagnosed or undiagnosed. So the next question that we can ask ourselves is, how can I adjust my leadership style to accommodate my employees with a cognitive disability if I don't even know they have one? Well, the Toastmasters module, Understanding Your Leadership Style, delineates 8 different styles that a leader can employ. So while all leaders have a preferred style, skilled leaders will adjust their style so that it addresses the actual circumstance and the individual. And that's actually vital for someone who is on the spectrum or has other cognitive impairments. Now, I scored equally across all of the leadership styles with equal scores that were on the democratic and the coaching, as well as on the altruistic and the affiliative styles. Now, as a leader who's neurodiverse, this really didn't surprise me at all. So my combination of methods actually allows me to seamlessly adjust my leadership styles for what the situation dictates. Now, some employees with ASD require close monitoring and help to set goals and the methods to actually reach those goals. Now, someone like me, on the other hand, need less hand-holding and prefer to just be given the objectives and then allow me to figure out the best way to get there. Now, this is where an altruistic style is really beneficial. So a leader can personalize the approach so that each individual on the team has their needs met. Now, I would benefit from more of a pace setter style, which focuses more on the productivity, and it can be used with self-motivated, highly skilled team members, while other team members might benefit from a more bureaucratic style, which is more like the leader establishes the rules, they make up decisions, and they just simply require compliance from their employees. Now, a skilled leader would employ a combination of leadership styles for the most effective outcome from the team. And this is vitally important for team members like me who are intellectually gifted, but also have one or more coexisting learning abilities, because our minds work differently. Now, it's imperative for leaders to provide the most supportive work environment for us to contribute the best to the team. So I'd like to leave you with this quote from music icon Dolly Parton. If your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream more, to learn more, to do more, and to become more, then you are an excellent leader. So let's strive to be the kind of leader so that we can get the best from our team members, regardless of their disability status. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lyra. I will continue with the evaluation session now. First of all, thank you very much for a great speech, very interesting speech. I would say the part what I learn, as we all, how much we do, we are learning each day. The part I learned from your speech is that how you smile while you are giving a quote, some gesture of your shoulders and your head where you are feeling that I'm very comfortable, I'm very happy while I'm saying something. Your flow is very nice where you are, expressively going into one peaceful way of delivering the speech. So that was very catchy, that was very interesting. So very well done on that one. You started with the quote, which is very catchy and it attracts the attention of the audience that what's coming next. That's great. You talked about your leadership style, that you are because you're having a distinctive ability of neurodiversity. So you are equally distributed in any leadership style, and you can switch between this and that while you are having a different situation in your life. So those all things goes very well. But like every speech, there is a room of improvement. So then we'll now move toward some part of the improvement opportunities, and then I will give some room to my team as well to give you some specific comments. So first of all, it's very clearly visible that you are reading the speech. So the speech has not been not been practiced or remembered in a way. Although I'm a person who believe personally that every time remembering speech is not necessary, but then you should not, if you don't want to do the proper remembering of the speech, which is the most recommended way of doing the speech, then you should have at least the points only. Don't give a feeling that you are actually reading. Then just have the bullet points in front of you, and then you do the extempore kind of a thing, right? Because then reading is not, give a right perception. Then it seems that your camera is not right in center of you. It's a bit more on your side. So it seems that you're sitting like that. So your one shoulder is above the other. So it's not centralized. So that's visuals are, giving a bit of challenge. Background is a bit of a improvement is there. My visual team member might talk a bit about of that one. Title, I would say, is a great title. Neurodiversity, why effective leadership is a vital for employees with autism and other cognitive disabilities. It's a very long title. Try to make a title which is short and catchy, right? So it could be a very short line for 2-3 words, and that would be a catching way of for the audience. I will start the round of modular evaluation, and my first module evaluator is visuals with DTM Iram Rizvi. Over to you, DTM.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Khurram, and welcome to the club, Toastmaster Lydia. We really enjoyed. However, my work today is to be very specific around the visuals of your speech. Looking at someone who is standing at level 2 and trying to explain leadership style, I would say that you really did well on your content. However, focusing on the visuals, I like the way that you used your hand gestures wherever required for numbers, for trying to say something from right hand to left hand. The improvement place that I would like to see is that if you could have had a rotation chair or something so that I could feel that you're using the stage. So bringing up your hands at one place, trying to say the number and making another point from the next of the side of your screen. Secondly, I would like to see next time, probably a challenge to you is that avoid reading. Because once you have cleared up your level 1 and you're trying to remember your points and you look down, it shows that you were not very prepared. So we want to see leaders that they speak from their heart. So if you try to remember your points by looking up or trying to see up there that, you're bringing up your visions while trying to give us some ideas, that would be more inspiring. All in all, I like your visuals. I like your hand gestures. However, I would like to see you not read, rather think about your points. Over to you, our evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Iram. We'll move to the auditory part with Toastmaster Mubina Rauf.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everybody. Good evening and good morning, everybody. Toastmaster Lydia, I have to do the auditory part. Your voice is beautiful. It's soft and it was flowing softly throughout the speech. Even if I listen to it on a radio, I'll be able to, make out the feelings you have towards your topic, how you take it, in your heart. And I wish you could have been more, your voice modulation could have been more than, because you used the same tone throughout. Maybe some rise and fall in the voice could have made your speech more effective. And that, as both our evaluators before said, that was because of the reading. If you have points and you speak from the heart, you have all the potential to be an excellent speaker. Back to you, lead evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Movina. For the perceptibles, we go to Toastmaster Salman Ibrahim.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Khurram. And a very warm welcome to Toastmaster Lydia to the club. I have been asked to look at the perception of the speech. Obviously, I have quite limited visibility on the audience at the moment. So what I can basically tell you is the impact it had on whoever has turned on their video and myself. It's quite apparent that your speech was uh, sort of it really affected me from the point of view of let's say the quote that you mentioned at the beginning of your speech was something that I have now kept in mind, and I'm going to go back and look at more details about that. So thank you very much for that quote. So the impact, yes, that quote had good impact. And then you were talking about different types of leadership style and the score that you had. Um, Obviously, that score is quite telling about your leadership style. So it was more specific to your particular evaluation and ranking. And in all, I think the way you used your quotes and the way you use the example of your own style and some of the other things, uh, I'm sure the other people in the audience would have felt the same kind of energy and in getting to know more about their own personal leadership style and seeing what they could actually do in terms of ranking themselves on the spectrum. That's basically it from my side. Thank you very much for the speech, Ms. Lydia. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Salman. I'll move to the structural part with the Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, GTM Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you so much, lead evaluator. Toastmaster Lydia, your structure was textbook. I found it to be exactly in sync with what the project required. I love the way you went through the different leadership styles and then told us what your preferred leadership style was and how it benefited you and people around you. So that was perfectly done. This is actually something we should all learn, that how do we work exactly according to the spec of the project. Also, your language was at places very scholarly, but that suited the subject. So a little bit of a challenge for the audience is fine because your subject was very specialized. And let me also compliment you because you translated something that was potentially very tough to understand and very specialized into something that everybody could understand very well, and they could relate how your leadership style helped you through your particular discipline. So that is my feedback, and over to you, lead development.
Thank you, DTM Talha. And now we'll move to the speaker for 1 minute of feedback to see it was an evaluation or a pseudo evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster Lydia.
I'd like to really thank you for the feedback. It's something that I really appreciate, especially with the short notice of taking me the assignment, maybe a day or so. So, but yes, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and speak in front of you, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Lydia. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. And you are mute.
Again, the same thing happened to me. Okay, thank you very much, lead evaluator and the speaker. We learn a lot about neurodiversity and the element of the speech. What are the things required to improve the level? So is the next item in the agenda, and the person who I call is a nation builder. She is none other than Toastmaster Movina Rauf, a Geek of the Week. Over to Movina.
Thank you. Could I share my screen?
Yes, Toastmaster Mubina, but tell me how long is your session first so that I can time accordingly?
I think 8 minutes.
All right, fine, go ahead.
Just a minute. Can you see it? Am I sharing it right?
Yes.
Yes,
But if you can
Just a
switch
minute.
to the presentation view, that will be great.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, I'll say it's kind of a pseudo geeky kind of a presentation. It is about corpus linguistics. But before that, I would like to introduce you to the word of the year by Oxford Dictionaries, which is goblin mode. Has anybody heard about this word? Just last week, they announced that this was the word of the year. It is a phrase, but they put it in the word of the year mode. It means a type of behavior which is lazy and slovenly. And it has come up, it has been used quite frequently this year. It's after as a kind of what the Oxford people say, as a kind of a reaction to the post-pandemic times. People do not want to go back to the pre-pandemic times, and they have become lazy, and they want to kind of rebel the social norms, and that's the meaning of this word. Now, how did Oxford get this word? They track the use of words which are trending on the social media these days, and they make lists. And this time, for the first time, they went to people and got a vote for it. And 93, they had a list of words that were used frequently this year. And 93% of the people who they went to voted for goblin mode. So we can imagine how many people want to remain in that pandemic period, even now, when there are almost no lockdowns, thankfully, in our part of the world. They go to their bank of words, to their corpus, to get those words. Now, what is a corpus? And how is it connected to linguistics? According to researchers, corpus linguistics is just a minute. It can be best described as, in simple terms, as the study of language, which study of language based on examples of real life language use. This is a more or less, I would like to tell you that corpus linguistics is an evolving field. It is an evolving discipline, and it is, many people call it a methodology. But some of the researchers have come out with this idea that corpus linguistics is essentially a technology, because it involves such a lot of work on computers. Had there been no computers, there would have been no corpus linguistics. Now, what is a corpus? It is a collection of machine-readable authentic texts, including transcripts of spoken data. Mostly spoken data, research is being done on spoken data, which is sampled to be representative of a particular language or language variety. I work in English corpus, so I'm talking about the English corpus. You'll find corpuses in many languages like Spanish, Arabic, or Italian too. Many people are working on their corpuses in their own languages. But I work in the English language, so I'm talking about that. And when you I'll give you some examples that which would give you an idea what a corpus is. The first one is the most popular one is the British National Corpus, which includes 100 million words, samples of written texts, which are 90 million, and spoken texts, which are 10 million words. And then there is a bank of English corpus, which is 450 million words, full text, open, written, and spoken, mainly US and UK English. And then there is, this is the kind of corpus which I'm interested in. And I work on these corpuses, which are called learner corpuses. And they deal with people who use English language as their second or third or fourth language. People who are trying to learn English language. So this is the Trinity Lancaster corpus, which currently has 4 million running words spoken. They are working, because they started it recently, the Trinity and Lancaster universities. So they are presently working only on the spoken part of the language, how L2 speakers or second language speakers use language and what are the patterns that are formed by using the language. Now, what a corpus has, it has to be specific, and it has a few properties which make it a corpus. Otherwise, you could collect any kind of words and collect them and say that this is a corpus. But no, this is not so. A corpus has to be authentic. It must relate to real life language use. Not what we do in the books like grammar exercises or vocabulary lists, not that. It refers to the real life use of language, either by native speakers or by L2 learners or anybody. It has a representativeness of a particular language, the distribution of linguistic phenomena, like words and grammatical structures, and which is identical to their distribution in the language use as a whole, or in the variety under investigation. For example, I just mentioned the British National Corpus. It is authentic and it represents the British English, the English that the British people use in writing and in speaking. Now, learner language corpuses are, they represent how learners or second language learners, second language speakers and writers use the English language. For example, I'm doing some research, a comparative study on research articles written by Pakistani researchers and international researchers. So my corpus, which is composed of 300 research articles, it represents the research vocabulary. I won't go into details, but I'm working on one specific language tool, which is used in writing. Now, something more, the size of you must have had an idea of how large the corpora is. Corpora is the plural of corpus. And the size must be large enough to contain, sufficient representative texts. Like, for example, I have I have collected 300 articles. So that is my corpus. And it is enough for my research. And most of the corpus that you'll see is annotated in different ways using different kinds of software for information about grammar, like parts of speech and font size, color, and information about who uses that language, the producers of that language. Now, some tools that are very commonly used, many are being evolved and worked upon, but this is the most common tool. These are the common tools. The first is concordance. Concordance words in context, how one word comes with other words usually, and then frequency data tools, like which allows, for example, the creation of frequency lists, like how many times a word occurs in a corpus. Like I am doing on something like I search the word however in my corpus. How many times is it has it been used in my thing? Now this is an example of my research. This is a concordance of the word likely. It's an adverb. And this is how I find from 300 articles, I've found the use of how many times it comes in my corpus. And this is the frequency list. You can see one column where you can see the frequency of the article. Now, this is an example, by a professor of mine. He is working on learner corpus for the same Trinity Lancaster corpus. And this is here he shows, this is a visual, you can say, display of the use of the word great and good. You can see good in pink and great in black, in pink too. Both these are adjectives, and how this data is from 1,500 students of English in the Trinity and Lancaster campuses. And you can see that the nouns are, represented in blue, and verbs in pink, and purple, I think, is adjectives. So this is kind of a visualizing device. And this is a concordance, you can say a collocation representation. It shows a network of words which are used with the adjectives good and great by the learners, by the second language users, not the native speakers. There is a difference between these two. So this is how corpus linguistics is helping in defining the use of language, in making the curriculum, in setting up the assessment for second language speakers. It is very helpful in these fields. Why do we use corpus linguistics? Because it can be easily used to, because these corpora that I mentioned before, BNC and learner corpuses, they are available to everybody. They are open. You can go Google and you can find the BNC, and you can, whatever you want to see, you can see that. So they are accessible to researchers, which makes it easy for them to do more research and improve teaching and learning of languages. And then corpora of various types have been used to gain insights into the changes, how language is developed, like 10 years before, how we spoke the language, and at present there has been a huge change in these. And these studies have facilitated the understanding of variations in language in different situations. So corpus linguistics, I'll just end with 4 things. It provides access to large databases of language use that can reflect different forms of language. And then these databases are easily accessible, shared, and we can observe all kinds of linguistic phenomena, such as frequent co-occurrences of certain words only with the scale of analysis, which can only be done through corpus linguistics and through these databases. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day. I hope I was clear enough for
Oh,
everybody to
yes.
understand what I was saying.
Okay, thank you very much, madam. And you have shared with us your thoughts and your research work. And that was good. And maybe I will get a mentoring session, a coaching session from you on this subject. Let's move to our next session, next segment of our education session. And we make sure that we are going to give the doctorate degree to DTM Iram Rizvi to conduct the table topic session. She always come up with the new ideas and innovative ideas and giving the challenge for the speaker to speak impromptu. So please put your hand together, welcoming DTM Iram Rizvi.
Thank you very much, DTM Saif, and good morning, good evening. Assalamu alaikum, wherever you are, and very glad to know that always in Quantum Leap, we have someone sitting on one time zone, and that's the exciting part. For the guests, table topic session gives us a practice of being senseful while someone asks or puts you in a spot to speak or ask you to give a comment. So whenever we speak for 1 minute or 2 minutes, we should always have a proper opening, content body in the center, and then of course a closing and a summary. However, today's table topic session is a bit different. So usually you would get a topic and you would have an option to speak about it, go against it, or talk around it, whatever. But today's topic, you cannot say no to. So whatever I have to give, whatever topic I give you, you have to speak on it and you have to agree with it and convince your point. So I'm going to take someone who could take the challenge. So is DTM Cynthia here?
Yeah.
DTM Cynthia.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. So DTM Cynthia, the topic for you, you cannot go against it. That's the agenda today. And you have to speak for 1 minute. We are having no disqualifications today. So you have to speak for 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes, 30 seconds. That's the bracket. So DTM Cynthia, the topic for you is the earth is flat, not round. The earth is flat, not round. DTM Cynthia.
Marvelous, marvelous question. Many of my fellow Americans take this stance, and I appreciate the question. The earth is flat because I can only see flat. I can't see round. That people talk about the earth is round, but I can't see round. From where I'm standing, it doesn't look round. And I know what I see, and it's flat. Now, maybe you contradict me by showing me pictures from outer space, but I have never been to outer space. And I cannot see that from where I am. So therefore, it is proven to me that the earth is flat and indeed is not round, as stated by so many scientists and given by pictures from NASA showing the roundness of the earth. But I just don't believe it, because seeing is believing, and I will not and cannot believe what I do not see. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you so much. Now you got the hang of it. I'm going to call someone who's volunteering. Morates, just tell me quickly, are you a guest or a Toastmaster?
Yes, I'm a Toastmaster.
Okay, great. So Toastmaster Morates, the topic for you is, I am the center of the universe. I am the center of the universe. Toastmaster Marutesh.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster. It is very difficult question, and also my ambition is to become a center of the universe, and hence I have traveled to worldwide through these Toastmasters during from 2 years. I have visited more than 700 clubs and attended more than 1,200 meetings because I have some ambitions which is more than my limit. Like I would like to become a world president of Toastmasters, and I would like to become a world champion, and I would be a center of the Toastmaster throughout the world. These are some of the ambitions, and through that, in my journey, I used to travel one place to another through the meetings. Every day I used to meet two or three meetings and interact with them, make friendship with them, take these contacts and have some knowledge sharing, ask some questions to them, gain some knowledge with the friends. These are some of my hobbies through this Toastmasters, and really this question relates to me. Thank you. Back to table.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Maturesh. Now my next topic goes to Toastmaster Beckford. Tracy Ann, are you here? I think her audio is not connected. If we see her, we'll call her for the next topic. I would jump to guest Mary Thomas, or is it Toastmaster Mary Thomas? Can you unmute
You're
yourself?
muted.
Yeah, I'm a Toastmaster.
Hello,
I'm with Ladies World,
Toastmaster
right?
Mary Thomas. The topic for you, you really have to get out of your comfort zone, okay, and agree to it and
Sure.
convince us. So the
Sure.
topic for you is, dinosaurs are among us. We just can't see them. Dinosaurs are among us. We just can't see them. Toastmaster Mary Thomas.
Table topic master. Indeed, it is true. There are dinosaurs among us. And if I may say, I can actually see them. But you tell me that I cannot see them. So I'm going to now assume that I cannot see them. The trouble is, these dinosaurs will come right before you, and then they start playing with you. And this playing is not a game. They really create trouble for you. There are plenty of them. And you say that we cannot see them. I will go back again and again and say that I can see them. And to be honest, there are times when I've actually called people, you are a dinosaur. You don't belong to this era. Where are you from? How did you get here in the first place? Like I'll repeat that because I actually can see them. What do they do in my life? They create havoc. What do they do with other people's lives and their own lives? They create more havoc. But sometimes I do think that we need these dinosaurs, whether we see them or we don't see them. We do need them because you know what? It has made me realize, made me understand that there are all kinds of people in this world. They can be dinosaurs, they can be little Mickey Mouse. There are all kinds of people in this world, and that makes me more aware of myself. Table topic master, I love your topic.
So much, Toastmaster Mary. Reminds me that when my guests come, I'm a Barney, and when they leave, I'm a T-Rex with my kids. So my next topic goes to Ahmed Shakur, guest Ahmed Shakur or Toastmaster Ahmed Shakur. You're here? Oh, did we just drop him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So can I call Arisha? Is it Toastmaster or guest?
It's a guest. Hello, this is my first time with you people.
Okay, so did you hear the topics? Did you get a hang of it, that what are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to agree with the topic and speak on it and get out of your comfort zone. Minimum 1 minute. Keep an eye on the timer. You can go until it goes green. So guest Arisha, the topic for you is, there is no such thing as science. It's all magic. There is no such thing as science. It's all magic. Guest Arisha.
So, what are we gonna do about the people who think in terms of 1 + 1 is equal to 2, right? Every single time you talk to these people who are always advocating for the so-called science, but little do they know it's a man-made thing, right? What about the reality? What about seeing the world through the lens of mysticism, God, belief, faith, wonder? What if, right? What if we just think that things do not have to be in black and white, right? They could exist in multiple shades of gray. Stop measuring everything in terms of facts, figures, things that you can only see. Think through the mind. Think through the wonders that you can explore without putting each thing into a box. There are so many wonders. There's so many mysteries of this world, this universe, that we yet need to explore, and that could also reside within us, our mind, the beautiful, the most magical thing ever to exist. The so-called science has no idea. There is no instrument existing within science that could measure what the human mind is capable of, and that's the biggest magic, the biggest mystery box, which is still waiting to be unraveled, and we looking towards inside of us can only unravel that. So yeah, that was my time.
Thank you very much, guest Arisha. Wonderful attempt. My last topic will go to Toastmaster Beckford. Tracy Ann, you were online. Toastmaster Tracy Ann, are you here? I have one last topic. I have to give that to someone.
Why not DTM Saf?
DTM Saf, the last topic is for you. Humans are evolving into monkeys. Humans are evolving into monkeys. DTM Saf.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, it's a topic given to me. It's a reality. If we go back, there was a Darwin theory that the human evolved from the monkey, and time passed. And time passed very fast. We start our journey at the time of the stone, and now we evolve through the generations to generation to the generation. Technology, technology, technology. Before we are using the pen, pencils, no more is using the pen and the pencil. Even my granddaughter, she is around 2 years or 3 years. You might see very soon, she is moving around. She is using a mobile telephone. So we are evolving now. Now it's a time to go back to the nature. And to go back to the nature, we must have to go back to the era of monkey, the Darwin theory. So we complete our cycles. Over to Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, DTM Safe. In fact, I still have lots of people who have already evolved into monkeys. So now I'm going to ask my timer for the day to please share the timing report for all the speakers.
All the speakers have qualified, and very soon polls will be floated for you to vote upon. So just to save time, I'll be floating the polls as the meeting goes on. Everyone, please vote
Yes,
for your
please.
favorite round robin speaker and also table topic speaker. We already have a winner for best
Thank
speaker.
you
and
very
best-
much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Timer. And I hope you all have enjoyed the session. And I'm handing it back now over to Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Saif.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master. And it's time. It's time for the feedback. And who is better than to give the feedback to our meeting today? He is none other than Toastmaster Usama Ali. Toastmaster Usama, you are with us.
Yes, DTM Saifali Sheikh, I am with all of you. So fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests, as a general evaluator, I will be evaluating the whole meeting, that what happened during the meeting. But before giving my report, I would like to call the role players. First of all, I would like to call the language evaluator for his report. So DTM Talha, kindly present your report.
Thank you so much, Journal Evaluator. What a rich language evaluation report we have today, not because there were so many mistakes, but because there was so much excellence. So I'll try to get through it as soon as fast as possible. First of all, the word of the day was pseudo, and Toastmaster Salman used it, Toastmaster Khurram used it, I use it, and Toastmaster Mubina Rauf used it. Could have been used more if during table topics it was reminded that word of the day was pseudo as well. But other than that, yeah, it had tremendous potential, but it was used pretty well. Then the language itself. The first opening statement by our president was beautiful. 3 kinds of investment: money, time, and intellectual property. What a way to set the tone for the meeting. Then the keynote, and I must say, Toastmaster Salman, what a wonderful way to present such a complex topic. Your language was so easy to understand. It was exceptionally accessible, and it displays your expertise in your respective field, because expertise is not demonstrated by fancy words. It is demonstrated by how well you can explain your subject matter to people. So you quoted Taylor Swift, and then our prepared speaker quoted Dolly Parton. So yeah, what an amazing meeting we had today. You used, Toastmaster Salman, not the most smooth, but effective nonetheless. Very good phrase: time, energy, and cost intensive exercise get themselves absorbed of any payment requirements. That verge on poetry. Pseudo currencies, mumbo jumbo, good luck using cryptocurrency in chaos. That was a great way to put it. Teething problems and casualties along the way. So way to mix 2 metaphors, one related to babies growing up and one related to soldiers fighting on the field, right in the same sentence. Yeah, it was a embarrassment of riches, your speech. Then the prepared speech, your language, Toastmaster Lydia, was scholarly, as I also pointed out in the evaluation. It was perfectly fitted to the topic. Congratulations on that. And way to do it, because you are a relatively new Toastmaster. Great that you have that sense. Then we had table topics, and DTM Cynthia said, will not and cannot believe what I cannot see. And you know what? This is the whole philosophy of flat earthers put into one sentence. I haven't seen it put more beautifully. Congratulations on that. Then I really liked something. One table topic speaker, I think it was Mary Thomas, she said, I love your topic. Way to give credit to the topics master after you finish your speech. Adds so much positivity and joy to the meeting. Loved it, and I'll try to emulate it. I'm not that nice, but I'll try to pretend. Then mystery box waiting to be unraveled. And right now, our journal evaluator, I am with all of you. Great way to put it. Over to you, journal evaluator.
Thank you so much, DTM Talha, for such an exciting report and focusing on every key aspect of the meeting. Now I would be giving my report of the overall meeting. So our first, the first was keynote speech, and the title was cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency. So I must say that the history was great, but I was expecting that there would be more focus. There would be a little bit more focus on the NFTs or how to invest in cryptocurrency, because I think the most hot topic nowadays is on this. Now coming towards the prepared speakers, there was a speech by Linda Norman. Although you can say that her content was great, but the title was not that much catchy. So I think she will improve that. And next we were having the Geek of the Week by Mubina Rauf. What an excellent presentation it was. And lastly, the table topic master. I think we must congratulate Toastmaster Iram Rizvi, because every time, whenever she's doing table topics, she is coming with exciting new ideas of how to make that interesting for everyone. And lastly, I would like to say that we should work more on the awareness of Quantum Leap Toastmasters, because I am seeing that we are having less and less members. I think there must be at least 50 members, so that we would be hearing more diverse perspectives. So I think we should need to work on that. Lastly, all in all, the meeting was good, but we can have more audience so that we can have diverse perspectives. So now I would like to hand over the charge to DTM Saif Ali Sheikh. So over to you, DTM Saif Ali Sheikh.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Osama Ali. Really, we have a great meeting today, and starting from the keynote speech to the speakers and to the table topic and the speakers who attempt the table topic, that was all marvelous one. By having said this one, let me ask if vote counter report is ready.
Give me a few moments. Actually, there was a mix-up in the table topics poll. So just give me a few moments. Let me float it again, and I'll get back to you.
Okay, I started with that we have to invest. For what? Invest for ourselves. How we are going to invest in ourselves? Again, going back to the same thing. Invest the money, invest the time, invest the intellectual property. If all three together, money, time, and intellectual property, the best example is a Toastmaster. It's spending little amount of the money and some little amount of the time, but we gain intellectually knowledge, wisdom, and everything. So do you think it is a good investment in ourselves by active participation in the Toastmaster? Yes, I believe that it is a good example that we have to invest. In return, we are getting the money also, we are getting the time also from the other, we are getting the knowledge from the others. So best thing is that to invest yourself through the Toastmaster. Yes, Toastmaster, if you are not ready, let me ask Toastmaster Mary, do you have now I'm shifting myself from the Toastmaster day to the president of the club. And Mary, do you have any comments about the meeting today or your experience?
Toastmaster of the day. This is the first time I'm attending this meeting. I came here actually because of the keynote speech as well as the modular evaluation. I wanted to know more about that one. And I was interested to know more about crypto as well. Not that I'm in it, but I just wanted to know more. I enjoyed the meeting. I'm familiar with the members here because they're President Talha, I'm familiar with him. Cynthia Stott, I'm also familiar with her. It was a nice meeting on a Saturday afternoon. It's afternoon here, 3 in the afternoon, I think, yeah. So I enjoyed the meeting. I hope to come back.
And looking forward to see you more in our meeting. Toastmaster Lydia, your experience giving the speech in the Quantum Leap.
Well, this was my first time actually attending this meeting. So it was definitely an experience. And I'd love to come back sometime. So thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Guest Arisha, you are with us?
Yes.
Your comments.
So I joined in the middle of the meeting, but the bit that I listened to, it was quite interesting. It was very nice. The speakers, they're very eloquent and they're very well thought of. So yeah, I like the meeting. Yes.
That's great. Really, we enjoy your attempting the table topic. That was a wonderful attempt from your side. Let's move to Toastmaster Tracy. You're with us? Back for Tracy? Or she is not with us. Let's move to, I don't know, Nurul and Qureshi. You are a Toastmaster or the guest? Nurul and Qureshi.
I think he's a guest. He's a English language learner, I think, from my group.
Oh,
No, no, actually, she's a member of, she's a recent member of Karachi Toastmasters.
Oh, wow.
Must be maybe sharing the groups. Yeah.
So Toastmaster Nurul and
Yes.
Your experience and any comments for the Quantum Leap Toastmaster Club?
Toastmasters is a good club to improve the languages and build our confidence. Toastmaster improve your writing skills. Toastmaster is a very good platform to improve your skills, writing skills, and your thinking level, your English.
That's great. Looking forward to see you again and again in our Quantum Leap Toastmaster Club. Is Toastmaster DTM Tala? Results are ready?
Yes, sir. Finally, they're ready. So, yeah. So best speaker, of course, is Toastmaster Lydia because she was the only speaker and she qualified. So congratulations. And you'll get the certificate as well. Best lead evaluator is Toastmaster Khurram. He also qualified. Best round robin evaluator today was DTM Iram. Congratulations. And best table topic speaker, it was everybody received some votes, but DTM Cynthia is today's table topics winner. And best pick 3, once again, I'm sick and tired of announcing that it once again goes to DTM Iram. So people, let's have some diversity in our role players, please. So congratulations and over to you, DTM Seth.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to the winner. And if someone has any business or would like to share anything, we have a little time, about 3 minutes. Yes, Toastmaster Iram Rizvi. You are a PhD in table topics master.
I enjoy it because, see, I'm mashallah 4 kids. I have 2 kids who are under 1.5-year-olds. So it's a baby. So it's very tough for me to prepare for any other role and focus. But of course, I keep myself on audio, and it's easy for me because once I know that Quantum Leap is starting up with the session, I have to get excited. I have to challenge myself because there is a keynote, there is an exciting evaluation panel session, which no other club does. There are things, there's Geek of the Week. So if I'm going to let loose my table topics on conventions, then that's not what Toastmasters is all about. It's about getting out of your comfort zone. So this is what Quantum Leap has done. So, and now when I go to other clubs and I do table topics master role, I get the similar feedback. But let me tell you, the seeding is done in this club. This club challenged me to be different and whatever you do. And this is the only club where when we bring something different, it's appreciated. Some clubs give me comments that, you know, this is not how table topics should happen. And I'm like, it's fine. That's not the base of that club. But Quantum Leap makes you do things differently, scientifically, and crazily. So this is why I keep coming, even if you're a guest, you're from other clubs, just keep coming and do. Mashallah, 7 kids now, right now at home with cousins of my kids. And there is a different excitement in my room with this club. So that's what Quantum Leap does to you. So thank you so much. And thank you for always letting me take whatever role I can easily can, and which is, of course, Table Topics Master.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else would like to add something?
May I ask, do you have a recording of this? Would you be able to share it?
Yes, we have
will.
the recording. I will share it.
But you will, if you can provide us with your contact, it will be easier. We can share via WhatsApp. And yeah, I think DTM Saf, it's high time we started a guest group. I know you've been saying this for months, but now I have got a little bit of time. So we'll be starting a guest group. And so if you can share your contact details, Toastmaster Mary, with me privately, that would be great. I can copy them and add you to our guest group.
Thank you.
Anyone? Yes, what is your experience, Toastmaster Salman, after giving this keynote speech? Cryptocurrency.
Thank you very much. This is the first time that I have given a keynote speech. Obviously, I have attended a few other presentations where there was more details shared with the audience, with all the time available to them. Here, 15 minutes required me to sort of send a message that was going to stick in the minds of the audience even after they leave the room. This is what my attempt was. I really enjoyed the table topics. I really enjoyed the speech from Toastmaster Lydia. It was an amazing experience.
That's great. So Toastmaster, it's time to call off the meeting in a couple of seconds. If anyone would like to add anything in 30 seconds, please go ahead. In the next meeting, we have international speech contest, video speech contest, and the video will go directly to the Toastmaster International. And Toastmaster Iram Rizvi, I will urge that you must participate at international speech contest. That is the week after. So would like to see you at international platform. Toastmaster Osama, the same for you, and Toastmaster Mubina is a challenge for you. And where is Osama? Osama is here. Iram Rizvi, you don't get any escape except to participate at international speech contest.
So I think DTM Cynthia wants to speak.
Oh, DTM Cynthia, most welcome. Participate in our Quantum Leap next week after we have the contest. So
I can't wait. I've got to come to that one. I've got to come. I just can't wait for that.
Please come. And the same time, Iram, there is no escape for you and Osama and Mubina. Please be.
Yes. I expect to see you all participating. I want to see it. But before you have to leave, Iram, wow. Your table topics put me in a very different space where I had to lie, in essence, fake what I believed in. But it was really good because I could see the absurdity of it, but I guess I could feel the weakness of people that take that stance, and I had compassion for them in a way
Yeah.
that I have mostly had frustration towards them. I had more compassion standing in their shoes. So thank you, Aram. I loved it. That was brilliant.
That
And
is
what a
so right.
brilliant. I'm sorry.
No, please continue, Team Cynthia. Please continue. Yeah.
I just loved the entire meeting from the keynote, which also make me think differently and confirm some of my own thoughts, to Lydia's really TED Talk. I mean, that was a mini TED Talk presented, and she was offered the opportunity last night at 10 p.m. my time, less than 24 hours to give it. And this is the second speech that she was given such short notice. She was given only 12 hours notice for her mentor speech. So she has been a trooper in that way. To the Geek of the Week, to the table topics, to all the evaluators, the way that you evaluate, it's so special, so unique. It just blows me out of the water. So, and it really makes me take another look at round robin evaluations, because I have a personal moratorium against round robin evaluations, but you make me think differently. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, VP Education.
Yes, so I'd just like to point out, DTM Cynthia told me that she had forever sworn off round robin evaluations, but the evaluations done in Quantum Leap and KTC's Academy reconverted her and opened her to the idea. I also would like to point out, DTM Cynthia, you are our designated patron saint and sage. You are here since the start of this club. We would love to have ideas from you and other members about something that our general evaluator pointed out. We need to have more attendance, anything and everything to have more attendance, because I believe the content that we generate in our meetings is second to none. It needs to be witnessed by everyone, be they member or non-members, doesn't really matter. And I would like to also show special appreciation to Toastmaster Lydia. Being a newish Toastmaster, it's a great challenge to prepare a speech in such short notice. Not only she delivered it, but she aced it. And that's all towards the preparation of international speech contest. And that is, in fact, an incentive to all Quantum Leap members. I'm looking at you, Toastmaster Salman. If Lydia can do it, and she will, inshallah, qualify for international speech contest, and we get to see her on January the 16th. Is that correct? The January the 16th is
Yes.
the contest date? Yeah.
Yes.
For leaders worldwide. So I'll be sharing the links to that. We'll all be there to cheer you on, Toastmaster Lydia. But that's also an incentive to our members that even if you currently do not have 2 levels complete, just say the word and we will have them. We'll provide you with enough opportunities to complete them. So yeah, would love to have participation in international speech contests. Over to you, Mr. President.
Can I say one comment quickly? Please. Lydia is doing 4 speeches in 5 days. 5 days, 4 speeches. It's absolutely amazing. This is how much she wants to compete in the international speech contest. I love her enthusiasm, and it's lacking in many of my, especially District 57 American Toastmasters don't have very much. They're lackluster when it comes to contests, and so it is so enlivening to have someone like that, like Lydia. Awesome.
Thank you very much. And we have a new budding Toastmaster with us in the lab of DTM Iram Rizvi. Hello. Okay.
Hello,
bye.
So
hello.
Sweet.
Hello.
Say hello. This is
By
my
this,
third child, Mariam.
Oh, Mariam, mashallah. MashaAllah. And by this, I officially adjourn this meeting. Please
Thank you
stop
so
the-
much.
Please
Thank you.
stop the recording.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.